guys like this band? I'm the disembodied voice of Hikiko, checking in on you in the pre-stream. This is Breakup by Australian band Surfing. Alright, we're gonna get things going here in just a second. I can't get enough of this album, by the way. It's like my album of the year. But here we are. Okay, transitioning to full cam. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to this Saturday evening cool stream. I think the last 5 cool streams have been in the morning, Central Time, where I'm at in America. And I did that for my European friends and international friends. But, okay, you've gotten like 4 or 5 in the morning. Now we're going to do something a little later at night. I never stream this late anymore. So this will be for my American friends. And as a fellow American, I just want to flex. I just want to flex just a little bit. Look at this humongous fucking bag of popcorn. And I've already eaten like a quarter of it too. Like, this is just something I graze on all day. This was like a $7 bag of popcorn, but it lasts me weeks, and I just chew on it all the time. I'm loving it. It's the best kind of popcorn. You know, like everyone's on a health food kick, and they're getting that skinny pop or sea salt popcorn, or I sprinkled some Hatch chili on this popcorn. It's almost edible. No thanks. Fuck all that. Pour some coconut oil on it. Pour some unnamed yellow substance on there. Sprinkle some goddamn salt on it, and I'm gonna chow down. So that's what we got going on. Valley Pop brand. I had some chocolate, but I ate it. That was from yesterday. I ate it while I was getting set up. I got, this time it's a Dole brand banana. Maybe I should review the difference between the generic brand and Dole. Don't people want to know? Shouldn't the consumer find out what the difference between that Smart brand bananas and Dole? Big farms don't want you to know. Monsanto is going to shut me down. The value. Got another thing. This is, okay. After Onision, you guys following this guy that he's a banana? Do you know who I'm talking about? Onision is something that, like, in my Discord, I have this channel called eCeleb General, where all we do is just talk shit on eCelebs and the latest gossip and drama and all that good stuff, right? So the hot topic for the past month that Chris Hansen is diving into dick first into YouTube and the YouTube drama scene is that Onision guy. And I was tangentially familiar with him because I saw that I'm a Banana video like way back in the day. We're talking like Tosh.0, back when I had cable and Comedy Central and all that. So I'd see him come up every once in a while, like on 4chan or something, you know, where I post all my videos. That was me. No, it wasn't. But I would see his videos and stuff because, like, he was kind of like one of the first drama tubers out there too. So, like, he had silly videos and also drama. And I distinctly remember seeing this video where he had his girlfriend. She was like having a panic attack, and then she had a seizure. All I remember was he just put the camera up in her fucking face. It was just like, go on. Now have a seizure for the camera, honey. Come on. Don't fake it. And she's dying. I'm like, shut the camera off. Take her to the hospital. So that was like the last Onision video that I had ever seen. And then my friends in the Discord are always like telling me, oh, he's a pedo. he's like grooming kids and stuff like that. So I did a little research, looking into it, and like that it's a humongous rabbit hole to fall down into. Like there's probably more well-researched topics on Onision than almost Christian at this point, and that's impressive. But like he did something like where he had some forums and some girls were showing off underwear and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. Like, there are people in my town that have probably, I don't know, didn't have a forum, downloaded some shit and got jailed quickly. So I don't even know how deep it goes. But so I am a big fan of Chris Hansen, and I've like watched all of To Catch a Predator, and I've watched like he also did some other like documentaries, like where he went to, I think it was like India, or no, he went to Africa, and he had like backtraced the origins of like one of those Nigerian prince schemes, and he flew over there and met with the guy. He basically catfished a scammer and stuff, and now that's another huge YouTube channel. It's like everyone's catfishing scammers. So Chris Hansen's trying to get back up on his A game right now, and I gotta give it to him. Like, he's probably in his 60s right now, so he has to not only like overcome the hurdle of the internet, but then YouTube, and then he also has to like follow all this drama from like years ago, and he just like talking with Chad and talking with all these girls that Onision like groomed and fucked and all this stuff. And he is like a saint. Like, I'm watching Chris Hansen, and he's super patient with all these airhead bimbos that Onision's been fucking. And yes, I know they were teenagers, and of course they're dumb. They are dumb, and it's an unfair fight, and it was grooming. But listening to all of his alleged victims, when we're on number 6, is it Onision's fault at that point, or is it society's? Like, where are the fucking parents? Like, say, no, I'm not going to buy you that plane ticket to Canada. Like, fucking show some sort of concern, please. Anyways, like, so I watched through, like, I burned through, I don't know, 5 or 6 victims that Onision had, and it seemed like they were all fine with it. Like, they all thought it was gonna, like, I don't know, Harvey Weinstein situation. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be a big E-celeb. And they all had their own YouTube channels, and they were all part of it. And they're like, oh, I'm all part of the act. And then, like, the rug got pulled under them. He got bored with them. And then they also got mad. So I think everyone involved is a little bit kind of stupid. Is that all right to say? I'm not trying to victim blame, all right? But if you just listen to some of these people that Chris Hansen has on it, you're just like, oh my God. But there was one person on there that I did feel sorry for. I forget her name, but she's like a Canadian pop singer. She's the one who had a seizure on cam. Like, no doubt, above anyone else. If anyone gets their revenge, she deserves it, because that was just some fucked up stuff. And the funniest thing that ever came out of this, though, was I watched that Onision video, like, where he responded to getting his Patreon yeeted, and like this, and this was the ironic part. I was drinking kombucha while I was watching it. Like, somebody posted it on my Discord, and I'm like watching it, and there's a part in the video where Onision is like doing his full-on Joker performance. He's screaming at the camera, and at one point he pulls out a fucking jug. We're not talking like a little bottle. He has a whole jug of kombucha, and he goes, do y'all like kombucha? And then he opens it and he just goes, ah. At that point, I'm like dying. I'm like, kombucha is like runneling out of my nostrils watching this dude. And I'm like, I can't breathe. And at that point, I became an Onision fan for life. I can't support him on Patreon now. You guys took away my ability to support my favorite content creator out there. I'm just fucking with you. But That did make me laugh. I would say, I told everyone in my Discord, like, in another life, Onision would have been a great actor. And it also begs the question, like, because he kind of films everything in his life, and it's kind of like a one giant Kaufman-esque performance at all times. So it's really hard to, like, navigate and figure out who's the real guy behind it all, like what's happening when the cameras go off. Like, that's what I want to know. But apparently he's being investigated by the FBI, which is good, because if he did something, it'll come out. But from everything I've seen, like, there's been 6 people and nothing's happened. So it's, like, concerning from the end. Like, if he is doing all this shit, why has it gone on for a decade? Why is he still on YouTube? So I don't know. I'm just kind of hanging back, watching it all unfold, okay? I'm not going to place my bets on if he's going to jail or not, because he's managed to evade the law this far. I mean, it's impressive at this point. Anyway, welcome to tonight's cool stream. That was my little Onision rant, I guess. It might get me shut down. Let's get a little, not pouring one out to Onision because I got carpet in here, but we're gonna tip some kombucha to him. Oh yeah, that's some good shit. I'm not gonna pour it on my head. Okay, so I called you all here tonight because we're going to play a game. I put out a poll on my YouTube community tab that I'm not sure everyone reads. The 2 games in question were Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. I think I got that right. And also Contra: Rogue Corps, or Rogue Core. And so I played a little bit of both to familiarize myself with the controls. So first game, Contra Rogue Core, I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt going in, because of course it's a Konami game, so there's already that bad blood on the review scene and everyone. It's weird, like some people, they love Kojima and others hate him, and some like have forgiven Konami now because they hate Kojima so much. I don't know how it works. Anyway, I played a little bit of it, and I'm a fan of the Contra franchise, more of like the NES, like Contra Super C, even Operation C on the Game Boy. And I'd also played, Contra Shattered Soldier a bunch, and Neo Contra. That's all I know. But the key elements of Contra, it's you hold a button and it's rapid fire throughout for the most part. There's a couple of weapons like where you have to mash, but for the most part, when you hold down A or B, that's constant fire, right? So that's one thing I'm looking for. 2, of course, aliens. You gotta fight some aliens. And then 3, killer tunes. Okay, that's the Contra thing. Oh, and 4, like, one-hit deaths. A hardcore experience, to say the least. I also played Contra 3 on the DS. So I played Contra Rogue Corps for like 2 hours, trying to see if it got good at any point. And the way they have you, maybe I should just pull it up. Should I pull it up? I want to illustrate my point here, because I can't do it justice on how bad this game is. So, did I already delete it? I didn't delete it. Okay. So I'm going to get it pulled up here. We're going to see a little bit of Contra Hardcore before we get into some dandy, okay? So, I got it pulled up here. Could you repeat the rant? You can always go back. It's archived. So this is Contra Rogue Corps, right? I keep wanting to say hardcore, but it's not. BAD, how fitting. I'll try my best to explain why it doesn't work and why I didn't want to stream it. You can see me right here on this giant panda in a yellow t-shirt holding a Gatling gun and a nuke on my back. So, of course, that seems promising. That's kind of what honey-dicked me in, so to speak. All right, so we'll do it. We'll do a mission, and I'll kind of like walk you through why I didn't like this. Hello, everyone. Hello, Strun. Hello, Japanese name. Hello, Jethro. Hello, Kirk. Hello, Boris. Hello, Lewis. YHZH. Corpse is pronounced core, though. I know. But in this case, it's pronounced corpse. Because it's a shambling husk of what Contra used to be. Okay, so let me show you here. Yeah, right there. You move around like this, right? In order to shoot, I don't think this is going to work out. In order to shoot, you have to not only aim in the direction, but hold down a button, right? Let me move my face so you can kind of get a better picture. Look down in the bottom right. That's a cooldown gauge. So eventually you'll overheat and you'll be stranded without bullets. The game itself doesn't really lend itself to the same kind of fast-paced action that you might see in the original Contra. Like, it's more of like a Diablo or Borderlands style Contra game, which is what nobody asked for. And I'll get into why. So, things that piss me off as a modern day gamer is where some new company will come in, or some new developer will come in and try and breathe life into a dormant franchise, right? So how did they do that? Oh, let's make it like Diablo. Let's make it like Borderlands and add damage counters and RPG elements and random loot drops. That'll be fun. Let's add a health bar to Contra. Let's add look how this panda jumps. Let's add really awkward and not fun platforming. I mean, I don't know what to expect from Konami at this point, but the formula is not that hard to get right, okay? The formula could just be another side-scroller. They released the Contra Anniversary Collection. Somebody in that fucking company could have just taken one of those as a reference on what to do. And, you know, some people might argue, like, oh, it's a new concept, you should give it a chance. You know, some franchises, you know, deserve to do something different from the norm. Contra ain't one of those, okay? The Contra formula was fine. All you have to do is develop sick-ass weapons and crazy bosses to fight and make it a bullet hell. Make it hardcore. And this is just boring. I was bored to tears. The 2 hours I played, I wasn't even paying attention, and they couldn't even get a twin stick shooter right. Like, how it should work is that you have a constant stream of fire and you just aim with two sticks. Okay, if you're gonna do a twin stick, you don't add a cooldown to it. It just doesn't make any sense. So that is why we're not playing Contra tonight, okay? I'm sorry if that's what you tune in for. We're not playing Contra. We're playing a good game. We're playing a good game. Ignore tinfoil there, okay? Ignore it. We're going to play one of the best games ever, okay? And with sound, too. Anyway, so yeah, Contra's a dead franchise. It ain't coming back. This is Dandy Dungeon. This is a phenomenal game that used to be on iOS and Android only. Now it got ported to Switch. I bought the Switch version, and they did a great job like upscaling it in HD. I was kind of worried about how that would turn out. I have not played this version yet. I've only played the app version, like the kind of pay-to-win app version. But I really like this game. I've got a review on my channel. Go check it out. So, I'm just gonna skip through the original text here. This is Yamada-kun. He's 36-year-old. He's like a 36-year-old programmer for this evil game company, and he wants to go indie. And this game is semi-autobiographical of Yoshihiro Kimura. who's the creator of Dandy Dungeon, Tulip, Rule of Rose. He kind of, it's just about his life, basically, when he left and struck it out on his own. So, Yamada, he has to program in his underwear. It's canon, okay? So, the more Yamada programs, the more he levels up, and then he can develop other assets for his video game. And that's kind of what's going to happen here. I think he's developing enemies now, so we're going to kind of go through a tutorial. I used to play this on my lunch break at work all the time. No Death Stranding tonight, Strun. I'm not burned out on Death Stranding. I'm burned out on the post-game. I was going to mention that. The post-game in Death Stranding is brutal. There's like 5 hidden preppers that you need to deliver packages to, but their cargo is rare, so it's hard to find in the world. And sometimes, like, they won't generate missions, so to earn up their trust and 5-star them is nearly impossible. So, I don't know. I need to reevaluate my strategies. But I am intending on platinuming Death Stranding. Okay, so the goal of Dandy Dungeon is, you see Yamada's in the left corner, or the left side of the screen. He's programming. And what we're doing is we're beta testing or bug testing his game. So, in order to do this, we gotta draw a pathway for the knight to travel to the exit in one go. And that's kind of like how this game works. Like, you try and get to the exit, defeat all the monsters, collect the treasure, and get to the exit so Yamada, in real life, can level up and become a better programmer. And then also, like, get laid in the end. It'll all make sense the further you get into it. Hello, Shadow High. I really like what they did with the borders on this one, too. It's awesome. What was funny is, like, after I made my Onion Games video, Yoshihiro Kimura retweeted it. So he retweeted my video. They announced the end of Dandy Dungeon, and then, like, a week later, after my video, they're like, oh, it's coming to Switch, it's coming to Steam. And so I was like, awesome! So my video kind of became outdated right afterwards. I'm not sure if they still have the pay-to-win mechanics, like, because this was originally a mobile game, there would be a cooldown time, so you could pay to, like, surpass that cooldown time with, like, rice balls. But I don't think that's the case here for this Switch version. Mick Hero, this game is based. Hey, Mick Hero, I think I saw you in the comments section. I was watching... You guys know this guy named Radical Rick? I was watching... Radical Rick is kind of like... this guy who doesn't like what they call e-beggars, or people on the retro scene that are trying to make money and, like, fund their fucking huge collections. Anyway, he's kind of like one of those call-out channels. I think I saw you there, Mick Hero. I've been, like, as I said, I love following e-celebrity drama, and, like, the retro game scene is a total trash fire. Like, if you guys ever watch any retro YouTubers and stuff like that, there's some cool ones out there that I watch. Like, I still like GameSack. I still like this guy. His name's Modern Vintage Gamer. I think they're pretty cool. But the rest of them are just kind of... They need to be put out to pasture, to say it in the nicest terms. I've kind of made fun of retro gaming and retro gaming YouTubers on my channel with the Jam series. But they kind of echo my real feelings. I think like, if you look into some of that stuff, they're definitely doing some quid pro quo. They're fixing game prices, and it's a really shitty thing to do. And their content is substanceless. Like, there's no depth, there's no analysis, there's no, like, I don't know. It feels like somebody with short-term memory loss trying to describe the first 10 minutes of a game they played and then just compile it into a clip show and throw it up there, and also fix the market by being friends with the guys who print the games. Am I paranoid for saying that? I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a small little channel. That makes me jealous, right? I wish I could have Dreamcast guy's good looks. I'm jealous of that guy. Holy shit. Anyway, so yeah, we're just kind of doing the tutorial dungeons. I'm blowing through them. I mean, like, in the beginning, like, there's not a whole lot of substance. Like, you just start leveling up, and the levels become more complex and more puzzle-like. And then you can start customizing Yamada and getting him new outfits and weapons and stuff like that. Hey, Mikiro, I've seen you comment on Immoral Alter Beast Hat Guy's videos. Yeah, so I'm kind of following all this drama that's unfolding in the retro scene. So there's some top retro YouTubers. Like, you got your, like, Metal Jesus and all of his, like, little cronies. And then there's, like, John Hancock. He's, like, one of them. He's, like, this dude who sounds like Barney from The Simpsons. Like, hey, guys, welcome to my basement. Here's my Genesis collection. Like, I don't even know, man. He puts me to sleep. I like, you know, I sat down and I watched this stuff, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I saw your collection, dude. It looks all right, but what's gonna happen when you die? Who's gonna be responsible for all that shit? Anyway, so there's like a whole big drama unfolding. Like, basically, there's a bunch of small YouTubers that have called out all the big guys on all their, like, little scam, Kickstarters, Indiegogos. Oh, my basement sprung a leak. I need $40,000. Or, oh, I want to go on a road trip. I need you guys to help me, my militia, to buy me a camper so I can go across the United States with my best buds and buy all the retro games. And this is for your benefit. And I'm sitting here like, what the absolute fuck? No shame whatsoever. No soul. And I've known this for a while. Like, you know, I've been, you know, I used to associate with a few people in that scene, but I mean, they all kind of like ride the bigger guys' coattails, and they don't necessarily provide anything that's worth watching in the first place. Like, their only value to their channel is what they went out and spent their social security check on lately or something. Their government fucking checks. Like, somehow I'm paying for these channels, and they have the audacity to have a Patreon too. So I'm like sitting here like, what the fuck is going on? And, like, I guess I get it. I guess I understand the mindset of how these people stay afloat on YouTube. It's kind of the same mindset of, like, E-Thoughts, you know, being a little pay pig, oink oink, paying for pussy, and this time it's paying for your vicarious friendship with Metal Jesus or something like that. Like, I don't know, and there's these people that'll just defend every little thing, and I'm like sitting here, I'm like, come on, this dude doesn't give one shit about the game he plays. I don't think he's even beaten a video game in his entire life. All of his friends that he invites on have more information than he does on the subjects that he talks about. He probably sells half the shit anyway. Like, scoops up something, like goes on eBay, picks up all the games that he's gonna spotlight on his channel, and then, like, after he drops the video, then flips it. That's what I would do. I mean, it's common sense. Anyone would do it with half a brain. I respect the hustle, but at the same time, like, I don't live in some denial reality where I don't acknowledge the truth. I don't know. So I'm kind of like in it. I'm like watching it all unfold. There's this dude named Radical Rick. He's always like pumping out these videos, and he pumps out like 3 or 4 or 5 a day. And I mean, like, they're not like the highest produced videos, but it's just like I'm in those videos watching those comments and stuff because like he's getting the attention, like he's getting exactly what he wants from the big YouTubers, the guys that are sweating right now. All the retro game scene are sweating because this dude and Immoral John Hancock, and there was like another dude that I was watching yesterday. Like, there's more people cropping up calling him out, and it's the best. Like, dudes who put in like 0 effort, they just kind of speak their brain, are taking down these giants, and that's always entertaining. That will never be entertaining. Everybody loves a good shit show, me especially. But I don't know. And this is coming from somebody who is a YouTuber, who does have a Patreon and all that stuff. But I think I provide some value to my content, and that's like where I differentiate myself. Is like I actually treat it with dignity, with respect, and I put forth the research and effort to make videos. And yeah, there is a little bit of like, what the fuck's going on with YouTube, where all these like low effort tubers can have millions of subs, and I just figure that a lot of it comes down to kids or lonely people. Kids and lonely people. And that's what props up these giants. And then like when their friend simulator turns out to be a fraud, it becomes like a volatile, so, like, you know, they'll turn on you for a little bit, but I feel ultimately these dudes are in the clear. These dudes will be running these scams for fucking ever. They've entered a threshold where they've entered a society to wherever they can continue to pump out content and people will just have short-term memory. So it's just like it's like it doesn't matter in the end. Like they'll get away with it. They always do. I'm the pessimist in the room here, but they always get away with it, and that's what you're gonna see. Mark my words. I mean, even there's like this dude out there right now. I think his name's Unbox Therapy, right? So there's this Facebook group I'm a part of. We were talking about Unbox Therapy because he's like got 14 million subscribers, and he blatantly ripped off a Chinese company's cell phone case, right? Down to like there's the texture on the back, like he had the ridges on the back. There was like a little groove up around the camera, and it would just like protect the camera from surfaces. Like, this dude had reviewed it. This dude had the balls to review the case that he was going to print and copy and hustle and sell on his channel. And then the dude deletes all the evidence of it, even though Social Blade shows like -4 million views up on his channel, like right afterwards, thinking that nobody would notice or pay attention. And, you know, the company called out the dude. And of course, it's just going to go through the same old cycle. The dude's not going to get in trouble. He's going to put out an apology video. I could do better. It's time for me to be better. I was in a bad headspace. Same old song and dance. And then, like, you know, there'll be his hardcore loyalists that'll just stick with him to the end. The Chinese company's never going to win a lawsuit. They're not going to pursue this. Nobody's going to take it to court. And even being called out, what does that even do? That just brings more attention to his channel. At the very least, I hope they get some residual sales off of this. But for the most part, he's in the clear. The bad guy, the bad end is the reality. Gold trophy. Did it in one swoop. Sorry, I've got like muscle memory when it comes to Dandy Dungeon. I love this game. So we finished up the tutorial levels. If you don't know what I'm doing, all I have to do is draw a straight line from the start to the goal and hopefully get all the treasures. Like, you have to try and touch every tile that you can, kill every monster, and then heal. You can also use spells and stuff, which I was doing in there. You saw me like use some lightning and stuff and clear it. Then you get some of that princess. That's me. That feel win, that's me. Yeah, he takes off all his clothes when he programs. Air conditioning ain't cheap. So now I unlock the equip menu, so we got an inventory going. I used to play as the chef. That was like my build. But I want to get that poop set. Alright, let me explain the love phone mechanic. Love phone is how close he is to winning Maria, who's his neighbor's heart. So the better he does in dungeons, and the more successful he is at programming, he may or may not win her heart. This is Dandy Dungeon, available on the Nintendo Switch eShop. It's on iOS, Android, and I think Steam. I'm not being paid by Onion Games. I just really like their games, and I think they deserve far more recognition, okay? Not being paid by them. Alright, so we're going to go from... I think that was the beginner sword. We're going to the iron sword. Attack goes up. You get more bonuses for doing a full set. So right now I think I got like the beginner stuff. You can also go undies. But we're going to go knight set. And then I think the shield. Yeah. Cool. You got materials for crafting. Crafting will come into play later. And I think that's it. Let's see. Mick Hero, I see your channel as one that totally deserves a Patreon simply for quality and research and the effort you put in your videos. Meanwhile, Hancock has a Patreon. It just makes the laziest videos. Yeah, like, you know, I try not to show my Patreon as much. Patreon.com/Hikiko. I try not to. I don't even put it at the end of my videos anymore. I think that, as I said, I have a full-time job. I love my job. I love the people I work with. And I also love making videos. And I feel like when I was unemployed and I was making videos, it wasn't by choice. I was unemployed and I was like, well, I got this time, let's make some videos. I wasn't trying to make it into a career. It's just too volatile to make into a career for most people, unless you're like in the 1%. And I just don't want to like depend on my audience to like pay for my day-to-day stuff, you know. All my Patreon money goes into production gear. It goes into replacing computer equipment, capture cards, microphones. Never into buying games. I spend my own money for that. Goes for like paying for software or like random effects. Like sometimes I'll buy plugins for Vegas or other like stock footage and stuff like that. So that's what it goes to. Or I just support other patrons. So that's kind of it right now. I'm not hurting for money, if that's what you want to know. But I do think Patreon can be a double-edged sword. Like, that's why I don't want to overpromise. Like, in the beginning, I kind of went to, like, full force into it, and I think that was a bad move, and I kind of scaled it back, and I was just like, okay, I don't want to put anything behind a paywall. I think it just acts as a motivator for me. Like, oh, people are paying me because they like my content. Better keep creating better content and try to do better. And that's the way I see it. And I don't hate everyone that has a Patreon. I think it does a lot of good because YouTube does not pay its creators for content for the most part, unless you're part of the celebrity scene, you know. And even like then, people have their own avenues of getting money and all that. So I don't pressure anyone to patronize me. The people that do are awesome, and I'm happy they do, that they like my content enough to support it. But not forced. I'm not going away either way. And that's it, really. I mean, I'm gonna try and keep on making videos as long as I can. Till I die is what I said. But who knows if I'll be around longer than YouTube. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, as long as I'm able to make videos, I will make videos, and that's it. I don't really have a plan beyond that. I thought about quitting the channel a couple of times early on, and then I just didn't let it get me down. I mean, there's a lot of things that work against you as a creator. There's, of course, the algorithm. I don't like to harp on that, but it is a real factor. There's other creators and stuff like that want to just, like, stick a knife in your back, which is weird. Like, I don't know, nobody can be happy for one another, so I've kind of dipped away from that. There's also, like, your style, if it ain't trending, if it ain't on a trending topic, you just get buried. And my shit is niche, so it's kind of like a symptom of being niche is like I'm naturally going to be underground by virtue of name, by virtue of content. I just don't hit those keywords. But not in terms of quality. I stand behind my product. I think once you see a video, at least you're guaranteed at least a laugh. You're gonna learn something and you're gonna get a laugh in there. That doesn't always gel well with everyone. Not everyone's a fan of the humor. Subjective. But there's at least some research done. So there's that. But I went all out. I went like full force into that Death Stranding video. I played the game for 70 hours before I started my review. I captured almost every step of the way. I labeled I had like 145 clips that I labeled. I had to like scrub through and label those, wrote a script, recorded it, shouted my lungs out. I gave it my all in that one, and it's almost at 1,000. My goal was to get it at like 1,000 views. It's getting there. It's just slow. I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like, I don't have a reviewer's copy. I don't have the advantage that reviewers have. Like, wherever it's like, oh, they get first dibs on it, you know? So they have more time. But even with that extra time, I noticed that other reviewers didn't bother to finish it, didn't have the right equipment, or they didn't pay attention to the tutorials at all. Oh shit, I'm running out of time. Let's, can I redo this? I don't think I can redo this. We're fucked. We're fucked. Oh shit, hold on. Oh, no. I need to do that the other way. I need to go from the weave. Go down, go around. We're gonna do this. Okay, did it. He's gonna heal when he gets up to there. I think. We're gonna use a potion. I fucked that one up. I could do that floor in one take. America needs you, son, says in Die Hardman's voice. Strun, what's your top 10 bands? Strun says The Smiths, too, Slow Dive. Well, yeah, I like The Smiths. I would say I love The Smiths. I love Morrissey. I sing all of his songs in the shower on my drive to work. I really like his voice, and he's a baritone. He can sing pretty high, and I'm a baritone as well. I used to sing, I wouldn't say professionally, but I sang for like school, I sang for college, and like I was in musicals and stuff like that. So I definitely have a background in singing. And Morrissey, like in the Smiths, I just love all their music. Been a fan of theirs. I actually became a fan of the Smiths. Like, I had an old girlfriend that tried to get me into the Smiths. Like, she was really big into Meat is Murder, and I wasn't really feeling that, and I still don't think Meat is Murder is my favorite Smith's album. I like The Queen is Dead or Strange Ways more than I do the Meat is Murder. But I think it was like years later, I listened to Strange Ways, and I kept listening to it. And I listened to it on the drive to school every day, and I was like, awesome. I love this band. I also like The Cure, but I think The Cure has like been played out over the years, and it's probably by no fault of their own. Like, they play all the Cure singles. They play like I Cannot Stand Pictures of You or Love Song. I can't listen to them anymore. Like, they've been played out so much. But Disintegration, the self-titled track on that album, is one of my favorite riffs of all time. And I also like Robert Smith as a singer. I also like the Crow soundtrack. If you guys have ever heard the Crow soundtrack, they have this song called Burn on there, which is another one of my favorite The Cure songs. What the fuck? I thought I drew that path. Why didn't he go? Oh, because I didn't touch the exit. I see. Yeah, I just fucked that up. I'm sorry. Damn it, I had it right the first time. I think I gotta loop around. Wait, loop down, loop around. Go to the exit. That's what I was supposed to do. My bad. I'm gonna have to heal. Have I ever watched any of Civi's content? No, Civi 11's? No, I haven't. Anthony Birch Fan Club says, the Jim Sterling joke in your Death Stranding video is funnier than anything Jim Sterling's ever written. I used to be a pretty big fan of Jim Sterling, like, back in his escapist days. But, I don't know, man. Like, there came a point, like, where I just knew Jim Sterling was just trying to be, I don't know, what do they call that? Like, a fear merchant, or he was just deliberately trying to be contrarian, or like went overboard in the consumer advocate side to the point like where I think he was misrepresenting a developer's intentions, or like there was a boogeyman behind every corner, and like I don't know, I just couldn't get down with that. I get that being pompous is part of his deal. Like, a lot of it's part of a character, but I think it does more harm than good. Alright, so first boss down. The chairman is like the main boss in the game, and he's based off Yamada's in real life ex-boss. So he's like too powerful, and it's kind of like weird. He becomes like a virus in the game, and he just kicks your ass every time he shows up, so there's really nothing you can do. It's a situation where you have to lose. Mikiro says, I remember your story of when you met Jim Sterling at a con. Yes, I did meet him. I met him at SGC. I forget which stream that was in, but yes, I did meet him. The first time I met him, he was disgusted by me. Like, he just gave me the look of absolute repugnation. And then the second time, he was like coming off an elevator, and we like waved at each other, and I think he was nicer then. I don't know. I don't think that's enough to like judge an entire person, but that's kind of how I read the situation. The first time he was just pissed off that I was around. But I wasn't even filming him. I don't know. I'll tell that story another time. I've already told it before. If you can tell me what stream that was, I'll point you guys there. Mick Hero, I love Disintegration, the song. Yes, me too. I also like Burn by The Cure. Alright, the Demon ad. Are you guys ready for some dank tunes? Alright, this is like one of the best songs in the game.
Deep down in this program, you will see Demon Lord Castle. If you think you are the one, come to Demon Lord Castle.
Demon Lord
Sweet
Castle.
children of Demon Lord, Ayano Koji's are the guardians. If you get 3 significant objects, you'll have a bright future. Ta-ri-ra-ri-ra-ri.
So basically, that's kind of the intro to the whole arc of the game. You have to defeat the Demon Lord, who's your boss, and your old company's trying to sabotage your indie game that you're trying to make. While all this, there's a romance plot and your weird friends that come over. Like, there's a lot of layers to Dandy Dungeon. And it just keeps unfolding and becoming a better game the longer you play it. It feels like the stream was about 2 years ago at this point. I don't know. Like, sometimes I go over the same stories, or I don't know. I tell so many stories every time I stream. I guess that's one of the main features to the cool streams. Sometimes they become less about the game at hand and just telling you, like, sad truths about my life. But what can you do? I talk to a lot of people up in the Discord, though, so, like, every day I'm chatting with y'all and sharing stories there, too. I'm probably more in touch with my subscribers than a lot of content creators. I'm really surprised my Discord caught on like it did. In fact, I think my Discord's more active than a lot of my streams, but it's whatever. Wherever you guys want to hang, I'm there, usually. I like these spears because you can go like 2 squares. You can attack like 2 squares away. They're pretty good. But I think there's a level cap on some of these. Now I can upgrade that sword, but we'll go the spear. I really do like that weapon. Is there a level cap on it? I don't think so. Alright, alright, alright. We good. Let's upgrade some stuff. I'm always a fan of being a glass cannon when I play RPGs. Like, I'll throw everything into my weapons, into my attack, all that good stuff. That's how I played all of Final Fantasy 13. I built Fang up to be like one of the most powerful characters I've ever had in a Final Fantasy game. If you guys ever play Final Fantasy 13, it ain't the best, but the moment you get Fang, that game becomes easy mode. The Alpha Omega Sin story, yeah. You know what? I think he's done. Like, he's doing something else with his life, and honestly, I don't think Alpha Omega Sin's all that bad of a guy. I really don't. I think he does like video games. I would say, like, out of all that scene, out of all the YouTube click gamer community scene, I think Alpha is the one that actually plays video games. Although he wasn't too happy with me the other day. So on Twitter, I'm a fan of Niche Gamer. They kind of cover, like, Gamatsu, Siliconera, Niche Gamer. I read all those outlets. And they kind of cover more, like, niche Japanese games. And for the most part, they have good content. But they hired Alpha Omega Sin as a columnist, as a game reviewer, a written article game reviewer up on the site. And then so I was like, oh, okay, well, I read this publication, and let's see how he makes the transition. Like, maybe he'd be better in a written form. If you guys have been following my Twitter, you already know what happened. But I read his article, and smack dab in the middle of his article, he's reviewing Clock Tower on PlayStation 1, a game that I'm all too familiar with. Like, I've played Clock Tower 1 probably more than I've played Resident Evil. Like, that was my go-to survival horror game. Like, Silent Hill and Clock Tower were my top two back in the day. And I played them, and I researched them. I got every ending in Clock Tower. I can almost recite some of the lines word for word. It's that sad. But so I was like, okay, he's reviewing Clock Tower. I'm going to read his article. Inside of Alpha's article, look at that. That's a full set. When you get a full set, you get a bonus. I got defense +1. So I'm reading Alpha's article. And in the middle of his article, he claims that you can put in a cheat code, or by some way of playing through the game, you can unlock and play as Scissor Man. Scissor Man is the main antagonist throughout Clock Tower, and he kind of like is referenced in the other games, but really it's Clock Tower SNES and Clock Tower 2, which is Clock Tower over here. He's talking about the PlayStation Clock Tower. And so I think it's called like the first one is First Fear. It was renamed to First Fear, and then it Clock Tower. Okay, so he claimed to play as Clock Tower or as Scissor Man, and that's like one of the oldest schoolyard rumors regarding this game. Like, anyone who ever talked about Clock Tower online at some point claimed to play as Scissor Man. And like dating back 14 years ago, the game facts in bold at the bottom in the frequently asked questions, number 1 is, can you play as Scissor Man? And it's a bold, resounding no. There's no way to play as Scissor Man. And trust me, I was the kid back in the day that bought into all the bullshit rumors like, not like, oh, you can play as Tails in Super Smash Brothers. No, you couldn't. But I tried. I still tried. I was that kid who fell for it. And I think Alpha was also that kid who fell for all the bullshit rumors, but he never like went any further to double check, to do his due diligence to see if there was any substance to that rumor, like if there was any validity to it. And he just published it like he did it. He wrote this whole resounding thing about how badass it was, how no other survival horror game would let you do that, and he published it. So on Twitter, I didn't want to like call him out and be like a dick about it, but I was like, hey, you can't do that. There's no way you can play a Scissor Man. If you could play a Scissor Man, I could type into YouTube Clock Tower Scissor Man mode or Clock Tower Unlock Scissor Man, and there would be fucking millions of videos, and it would have been already ripped off by Watch Mojo. That Watch Mojo would have had a video on it. Did You Know Gaming would have mentioned it. Nowhere to be found could you play a Scissor Man. So what I did is I pulled up this old GameFAQs FAQ, where the first thing in the FAQ says, can you play a Scissor Man? No, you can't play a Scissor Man. And I quote tweeted Niche Gamer. I was like, hey, good article. I didn't say good article. I didn't say that. I said, hey, just FYI, you can't play a Scissor Man in Clock Tower. I quote tweeted them. I sent them the evidence. And like another guy in there that I watched, Scratch Point, who's also a fan of Clock Tower, said, hey, you can't play a Scissor Man. And then like more people were saying you can't play as it. So what Niche Gamer does is they redact Alpha Omega Sin's bullshit claim about playing a Scissor Man. This like grandiose lie that he made up and he tried to perpetrate as true. Like he did that shit. And so they redact it, but they don't make a redaction statement. And if you're a publication and you start doing that shit, then you no longer become a trusted news outlet. So they did that. They redacted his bullshit claim about playing a Scissor Man, and here we are. As to my knowledge, he hasn't put out another article. So I didn't mean to end his writing career over at Niche Gamer. I'm sorry, Alpha, if that's what happened, but come on, man, just Google it. Google that fucker before you start perpetuating like ancient ass rumors. I typically make it a policy in my reviews. It's like if I haven't made it to a point in a game, like if I didn't do it or I didn't witness it or I didn't capture it, I typically don't try and talk about it, okay? If I can't back it up, if I can't prove it, I don't do it. I think that should just be a good policy for anyone who's reviewing something. Like, how can you review this giant 7-pound bag of popcorn if you haven't even tasted it? Here's my review of this popcorn I never had. It's damn good. Kirk in the chat says, use strength 5 times on the truck to get Mew. Oh, god damn. I believe that. As I said, I was the lonely kid who had a Game Boy. There was a lonely kid with a Game Boy. Oh no. Rip stream. Hold on. Technical difficulty. Technical difficulty. I fixed it. I don't know what that meant, but technical difficulty. We're good. 3 Effects. Hey, what's up? Is your name Trace Effects? TRES Effects? Are you part of Silent Rob's group? Face Destroyers? Are you a Face Destroyer? 3 Effects? Shout out to 3 Effects. We're good. We're good. I fixed the stream. I leveled up too. Well, hey, great Death Stranding review. Heart, your take on it. Well, thank you very much. I was worried. I was sweating bullets that entire review. When you're reviewing something that has already an established polarized reaction to it, like, I knew that going in, that some people would love it, some people would hate it. I would say on the majority, people liked it, and I was surprised that people would like it. Even though, like, my take was somewhere in the middle, I'd say Death Stranding is my game of the year. Yes, it is. But it's my game of the year. It's not going to be everyone's, you know? It's something that I found to be the most unique. It was the thing I was most anticipated for. Resident Evil 2's up there. It definitely is up there. But Death Stranding feels like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of game. And Resident Evil 2 is like a 3 or 4 times in a lifetime kind of game. Like, it's been ported multiple times, including the Game.com version, which I've streamed on this channel. Alright, we got a fire sword. I do like these because these have status effects. They can, like, cause burn, and they just look cool. I do like it. And also, like, I got the pan. The frying pan is part of the chef set, which is what I played as the last time I played through this. I love the chef. Let's make sure I get all my materials in order. What is this? Oh, wait, I can't. That's a material. I need to equip a potion because I'm about to run out. Alright, we're looking good so far. I may have to start crafting because the game's about to get good. Hey, you are Trace Effects. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I see you in the Silent Rob group all the time. I shitpost there sometimes. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Anthony Birch, you can jump over the flagpole in Mario Brothers. That would be that's a true statement. I've seen it done. Alright, so we're just grinding for materials and then we're gonna craft something. Three effects. My name is Miles. You've probably seen me in Face Destroyers United. I'm an active member of FDU, okay? I'm a proud Silent Rob fan. Silent Rob still, like, I've been following Silent Rob, like, off and on in the beginning, but now I'm kind of like a more hardcore fan. Silent Rob is like one of those original gangster YouTubers, and he's super funny, and he's talked to me a few times. Like, he's actually like messaged me up on Facebook a few times. He's a really good guy, and he's like one of the funniest guys on YouTube. If you've never seen Silent Rob, he's got some good funny shit out there. I really like him. But I'm also part of his Facebook group, and his Facebook group is wild. Okay, this fire sword is garbage. I'm gonna die. First death of the game. I was talking up that fire sword. I'm not gonna eat the rice ball. You'll lose the gold and experience you've collected so far. Yeah, that's alright. You can use onigiri to revive yourself in the dungeons, but I tend not to do that on the first floor. Now, if it's like a hidden dungeon, I'll do it, but the fire sword is garbage right now. I need to upgrade it. I think this guy sells you the onigiri. You can send out guys on quests for you to gather materials, and he's one of those guys. All right, we'll get something going here. Konbanwa, Stratos Radio. Stratos, I think you're also a part of FDU, aren't you? If I'm correct, I don't know. I just see a lot of familiar faces. Like, YouTube is a smaller world than you think. I keep running into a lot of people. I'm like, oh, hey, I know you. I'm like a shitpost extraordinaire, okay? I shitpost. I run in the drama. I don't actively participate in the drama, but I love following it. Like, I don't necessarily follow all the huge drama. I like the smaller scale stuff, you know? It's like watching my shows. It's great. All right, we've maxed out the spear. Let's see if we'll send out Saito on a quest here. All right, so I got to give him 1,000 to send him out for materials, but I'm not gonna do that right now. That's way too expensive this early in the game. Let's see if I can we'll upgrade my shield. Yeah, almost level max. Let's max it out. Level up. I love this game. It's got so much personality. I've covered it on my channel. Don't say it. Don't say I didn't warn you. Onion games are very weird, but I'm a fan for life. I also beat Blackbird, which is their shoot 'em up. It's great. I'll be playing Moon as soon as that comes out. I'm real hyped for Moon. I've been waiting forever for Moon. Alright, we're gonna grind for some materials. I like to go back to previous dungeons that I didn't get a gold trophy on, and I like to gold them. It becomes a lot easier when you craft stuff. If you see right there, Yamada-kun has like all the different things that can potentially drop. So I've already got the axe, I got the spear you're seeing there. There's a mystery drop, and there's some materials and other things. Like, I believe that's barbarian equipment, and that's some good that's some good gear right there. I'm pointing like you guys can see where my finger is, and it's not even pointing in the right direction. Just an old habit. So the timer doesn't count down until I hit any of the buttons. So I can map it out in my brain and then draw a path. And the moment I touch the button, that's when the timer goes down. So I think I got it. It goes... Not that way. Did it. I'm just gonna steamroll these guys. They're only doing 1 HP. I think you can speed these up too if you hold X. Like, look how fast he goes. There's a fast forward button. I got the perfect bonus on that because I hit every tile. I'm sorry, I'm trying to explain all this. There's a lot of moving pieces to Onion Games' work. So, Dandy Dungeon, it's simple to pick up and play, and then it becomes more complex. Like, you'll start using more of your skills and stuff like that. All right, let me check this chat. Watching Rob play Shenmue 3 was the funniest thing this year. Oh my god. On my channel, starting out, I had a character called Gaijin of Dojima. If you guys ever just type in Gaijin of Dojima or type in Shenmue or Yakuza on my channel, it'll come up. I talked a lot about my thoughts on Shenmue through that character. My girlfriend, she bought me Shenmue 3 for Christmas because, you know, I was excited to check it out for myself, but I did end up watching Rob's stream. But the funny thing is, I watched GameSack, Joe from GameSack. Now, I respect that guy. I ain't never gonna bad talk him, but I watched Joe's video, and Joe's video was, like, very highly produced, and, like, he kind of glosses over some of the rougher aspects and all the technical faults and the pacing and all that stuff like that. And I think it's because he's a huge fan of it, so he's like speaking from a fan's perspective. So after his review, I wanted to play it. So I told my girlfriend, like, hey, I'm kind of interested in Shenmue 3 if you're looking for a Christmas present. So same day, she immediately orders the game, right? 1 or 2 days later, Rob streams Shenmue 3, and the dude is like screaming his lungs out. He's showing off like how sloppy and poorly executed the game was. And I'm just like sitting there knowing that Shenmue 3 is on its way. I'm not going to tell my girlfriend, but I'm still going to try and play it, okay? I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I like really, you guys know me, like I like games that are kind of tedious and weird and off kilter, so maybe I might like it still, but his stream didn't paint it in the best light, so I've seen two conflicting opinions on it, to say the least. I'm a dandy dungeon god, what can I say? Decomius? Is your name Decomius? Hi, Hiki. Have you ever played any Monster Hunter game besides World? Monster Hunter World is the only one I haven't played. I didn't jump on that train, mainly because I think at the time I was working on a big review of some kind. I'm not sure what it was, but I was working on some other games, and a bunch of games that I wanted to play all came out at once, and I'm like, well, Monster Hunter's kind of like a game that has diminishing returns for me. I'm like really enthusiastic early on, but it gets to a certain point to like wherever you're just constantly grinding for materials and having to arrange friends to like meet up and play. And I'm, you know, I got a job and my free time is already kind of divided as it is. Like I give my free time to my family, my friends, and my reviews. So it's like a game like Monster Hunter isn't possible for me at this stage of my life, but maybe sometime down the road I'll pick it back up. But yeah, I think the one that I played the most was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U. And 3DS. I really do like the games. They're fantastic. Oh, we've done this one before. Beep, 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 beep. We don't. I want to keep that. Whenever you get too many, I guess I'll discard this since it's broken anyway. There we go. Whenever you get too many items, it kind of pauses and it's like, hey, do you want this? I got poisoned. Let's see. Mick Hero says that Adam Koralik guy got 7 different copies of Shenmue 3. The obsession is real with these hardcore Shenmue fans. One of my best friends in the entire world, you guys have probably seen him before on my channel, Rai. He was in that, Yakuza Fury. You guys ever watch the Yakuza Fury review? He played my mother's boyfriend, I guess? The Hoagies guy. He is the world's biggest Shenmue fan that I know. And I don't think he's like a staunch Shenmue defender to the point where he would like defend it if it's bad, but he doesn't own the game yet. And so partially why I asked for that game is so I could play with my friend Rai and we could experience it together. So I'm going to sit down and play with him, and we're going to talk about it and figure out, like, you know, how we feel. And then I'll put out probably a little something on it. If it's worth doing, if it's a project worth pursuing. So he's going to come over probably next weekend, and we're going to play a little bit of it. And then I'll probably sit down and beat the whole game. I heard it's not long at all from what I've been told. It's like somewhere around 25 hours, which is nothing. Especially for a game with that much anticipation behind it, you know? I'm gonna cast some magic. Ooh! Ooh! The magic fabric. That's a rare drop. Is Adam Koralik guy the guy who did that Shenmue documentary like way back in the day? My friend was a part of the documentary, I believe. He seems like an alright guy. I mean, people like what they like. I'm not gonna trash on people for loving Shenmue. I mean, I certainly have trashed on Yu Suzuki. I called everyone who was excited for Shenmue 3 ball lickers, that they were sucking on his dusty old balls, and I coughed up powder sugar that one time. There is a video of me doing that, but I still don't mind Shenmue fans. I mean, I did do that. But it was mostly just like to tease my friend Ryan. Even though I love Ryan. Like, I love him like a brother. Because the character was so obnoxious. Alright, Yakuza team could have done something really impressive with Shenmue. Honestly, I think the best move out of it all would have been to turn Shenmue into like a Telltale story adventure kind of game, like a point-and-click adventure. It's low budget. You can make multiple chapters out of it. You can tell your story, and you don't have to try and like fake it with this whole open world and crappy battle system. You could just keep it in the confines of the engine, and then Suzuki could fund the rest of his story. But once again, got overambitious, got too cocky, and now Shenmue's still not going to have closure. So, I don't know what to say. I don't think I can defend that move. Like, this was, I think, Suzuki's last chance to tell his story, and this is such a downer to end things on. It really is. Okay, we didn't do too bad on that one. I think they're trying to push me to run one of these quests, so we're gonna run. This is where you can contract people to run into other towers and get materials for you. And they level up too. So I'm getting all sorts of loot. Alright, he did okay. We'll have him run one more time. Grinding for materials. Hell yeah. Okay, that's enough. Alright, let's upgrade all my shit. Ooh, that straight maxes it out. And that's a cheap way to max it out too, so we'll go for that. Level up! Level up! 5 levels, boys. What's your take on the Game Awards? I think they're just a marketing ploy to sell more copies for the big three. Yep. I did give my take on the Game Awards. There's a video called The Missing Game Review, and it centers around my good friend Swery and how they did him dirty last year. I'm not a fan of the Game Awards. I'm not going to watch them. I'll just watch the trailers afterwards and not put myself through all the suffering of watching something that's cringeworthy. And I feel I'm going to do the same thing with E3, even though E3's been one of my longest standing traditions. There's no love in there anymore. It's just a soulless shill game. And it makes me sad. I miss big faces. I miss people that I recognize, like Reggie Fils-Aimé or what's his name? Ken Kutaragi? Does he come out? Like I don't recognize any of these people that are coming out talking. Like Jeff Keighley's probably the only guy. They're gonna get like more of these like Twitch streamers and Fortnite players. Like they had Ninja on there last year. I'm like, what the fuck is all this? No, I ain't gonna watch something that's gonna make me miserable. Hey, Sand and Sense, what's up? I didn't know Dandy Dungeon existed on Switch. Yeah, it came out a few, like, so I made my Onion Games video. I think that was like 6-7 months ago, something like that. And then like after I put it out, they made an announcement like just after my video, like, oh, we're porting it to Switch. So this whole tirade I went on about, like, hey, you better get it now because it's gonna die. They're like, oh, never mind. Well, we changed our mind. We're actually gonna port it to Switch now. So now you look like an idiot. But that's okay. I'd rather be wrong in that scenario. I fucked that one up. But I should be alright. I didn't perfect that one. I thought your review of Death Stranding was going to portray Death Stranding as a regular action game and showcase the guns in the game. There's not a whole lot of showcasing to do in terms of combat. I thought about it, but like my deal is like when I'm making a review, like I don't want to come off as a human instruction manual, okay? My goal typically is to clarify some things. Like if I start hearing rumors about a video game, like I want to do my diligence to clarify where people got stuff wrong. And one of the things was I saw some reviewers that didn't have the power skeleton, or I call them power legs, while in their video clips of the review, and they were like doing late game shit without power legs or exoskeletons. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not playing the game right. So typically that's when I'll hop in and give my take on that, but I see a lot of reviewers that just try to artificially lengthen their reviews or put in a bunch of filler content because they got nothing else to say or they don't have a personality. So they just start reading off like all the shit you would hear in the tutorial of the game. So I try not to do that. It's unavoidable sometimes, but Death Stranding is one of those games that's like there's a lot of moving pieces, so you want to like explain how the big picture works or all the smaller things to make the bigger picture make sense. Oh wait, we're gonna eat a rice ball. I forgot about— oh, I didn't eat the rice ball, dang it. Okay, we'll rerun that dungeon. Sorry, I got caught up in that one. Hey, I got a super chat. Hello, Stratos Radio Blues. Will you ever play Yume Nikki or the OFF RPG on live stream? Probably not on live stream. Those are games that I think have been played out on live streams. Like, Yume Nikki is a game that I thought about reviewing. Like, you can see back here, I'm a big fan of Yume Nikki. But the magic of those games are to go in blind. And I think when you vicariously experience them through the proxy of a Let's Player, you're missing the point. And, yeah, I'm not a fan of, like, spoiling those kinds of games. It's like Yume Nikki isn't so much a game as it's an experience. It's an artistic exhibition by a very bizarre, kind of secretive developer. And I know they did a 3D remake of Yume Nikki, like Cave or Nicholas or so. I think it was Nicholas bought the rights to it and decided to miss the entire point and give it HD graphics and just yank all the soul out of it, as they do with any independent project. They gotta inject their corporate cock into it somehow. So I haven't played that 3D remake. I'm probably not gonna play Yume Nikki on stream or any kind of like spook games. They're a dime a dozen. There's a lot of imitators of Yume Nikki out there. Some good, some not so good. But I think those games are either stream bait, like they bait kids into watching it. No offense, but that's just how I see it. They're cheap content, and unless I got something to say about it, I typically stray away from it. But I have referenced Yume Nikki a couple of times in some of my videos. I believe the Firefly Diary. So I've talked about Yume Nikki a little bit, but I may do like a video where it appears in some degree if I don't review the game at some point. But I typically don't do something if I don't have anything unique to add to it. So like if somebody has a really good review out there, I sidestep it and let them have the spotlight. Let them have their, you know, day in the sun. Isn't Yume Nikki on Switch? Probably the 3D one. The one I'm not really all that interested in playing. And for me, like, even when I play a survival horror game on stream... Oh, I see where I messed up. Oh, well. Even when I play, like, a survival horror game or a scary game, I don't get scared easily. So I'm not a very good YouTuber in the sense, like, I can't fake being scared because even in real life, I have a very high threshold for fear. Because I grew up like watching horror and playing survival horror, and I just get excited. I think it's fun. I actually go to a horror convention every year called Crypticon, And I just get excited. Like, that's my world. So I'm probably not the most entertaining person when it comes to horror. Did I see Mega 64's Death Stranding video? I know it exists, but I haven't watched it. It's not that I'm not a fan of Mega 64. I just kind of stopped watching their videos a while back. I don't know why. I don't really have a good reason for not watching their videos, because I do like them. It's just one of those things, like... And I feel bad about this because I have a lot of good friends that watch my channel, and they comment on things all the time, and, like, sometimes I just don't have the time to return the favor, like, and watch their videos or comment and stuff like that. Like, when I watch somebody's video, I want to, like, sit down and digest the whole thing and leave a pretty good comment, you know? So, I eventually get around to watching it, so I'll probably get around to watching Mega 64, but most of the time, like, I watch things that I don't have to be truly invested in, like streams, as I'm editing or working on something at work or something like that. I'll just have it on in the background. And another thing is, like, I don't really watch reviews on games that I want to play and go in blind. And I think that's the same way for a lot of people. Like, some people reached out and they were like, hey, I see that you put out a Death Stranding video. I'm not going to be watching this for like a couple of months because I'm going to play it myself. I'm like, that's fair. That's totally fair. Crypticon is really cool, Stratos. I've shown off some cool shit that I've gotten there. A few months ago, I think it was back in July, I went and I got to see Sid Haig before he passed away. He passed away about a month after that convention. So it was really cool to get to see him and say hello. And I didn't want to bother him because he did look like he was really exhausted as it was. So I just gave him a friendly hello. And I saw him interacting with all the fans. Like that was like his last month on Earth. Sid Haig, if you don't know, is Captain Spaulding in The Devil's Rejects. And I believe he was the Spider Boy. And he was in Jackie Brown as the judge, and he's in a lot of stuff. But I always liked him in when I saw him in horror films. Like, he would pop up from time to time. And I got to see him, and dude was like damn near 80 years old. He had a life-threatening illness. Like, he had lost a bunch of weight. He knew he was dying. Still was out there shaking everyone's hands, taking photos, talking with them, doing panels, up until his dying day. Like, mad respect. So it was a really cool convention just for the fact that I got to see him for one last time. And then Joe Bob Briggs, the almighty Joe Bob, one of my favorite human beings on the planet, got to see him for the second time. I really love Joe Bob. If you guys, next weekend, I think on the 15th or the 14th, Joe Bob's doing Red Christmas. So if you have Shudder, tune in live. I'll be watching. I will be watching. I love Joe Bob. I watch all of his shit. I read. Joe Bob's got a few books out there. I've read his books. His real name's John Bloom. So he's got books under John Bloom, and he's got books under Joe Bob Briggs. I fucking love Joe Bob. FX Mega 64 stopped putting out videos where they reenact gameplay. I wish they'd do more of those, less written work. I mean, that's not necessarily their fault. YouTube doesn't cater to those videos, as sad as that is, because they put out like a decade of great content where they did live action prank stuff, and they're really funny guys, and their videos probably cost a lot to make. If you think about it, I don't even know how they rent that studio space that they have, but they put a lot of time and effort into their videos, and YouTube just doesn't cater to it, so it's like, well, they built some careers around it, and to support, like, everyone in there, they gotta have content in the middle, and it's gotta be rough, because I know they don't want to make all this filler content all the time, but you just see more YouTubers doing it, and myself included. Look at me now on this filler stream. I'm just teasing you. I actually do like doing these things, but you just feel that pressure. You feel like you're gonna be forgotten or buried by the algorithm and shit like that. So almost every creator I know has to like resort to making all these little mini videos in between, and I think it just distracts from bigger content sometimes. But I do love Mega64. I've been a fan for a while. I've met them all in real life. David, King David, has a really, really funny story that happened when we spent the night at a convention with them. And I got to hang out with Derek probably more so than any other Mega64 member. And he's really fun. I think he's got a great sense of humor. They all do. They just like, as I said, like, they're all like entering adulthood, like, I don't know, late 30s. Some have families. Some are wanting to move on. So if they don't do as much as their old prank stuff, I understand why. It's like, hey, maybe I don't want to get hit in the face by a random pedestrian for a practical joke, you know? Oh no! Use that medicine! All these traps can kill you, like, real quick. But I like them. It's hard for me to keep up with their stuff because, like, they put out so much content and a lot of it's, like, podcast stuff. I love that old live-action Paperboy. Stratos, yes. That was, like, one of the first things I ever saw of theirs. Their Dead Rising video, where he's like taking all those Frank West shots. I think their most famous video is like the Resident Evil 4 Merchant one. That's old school YouTube right there, man. Yeah. I like their podcast sometimes, like, I won't watch it all the time, but every Christmas, Mega64 puts on an eating competition where they eat a bunch of gross shit. We're talking like, some people have drank piss, they've eaten bugs, scorpions, you name it. They've probably eaten it. Like a whole can of ketchup. Yeah, I'll watch it then. Alright, we're back on with the main plot. I did all my grinding. Ooh, I got a new dungeon. So sometimes you can unlock, like, alternate dungeons. They're like bonus dungeons. I think there's one based on Million Onion Hotel. There's a lot of collaboration dungeons in this game. Yeah, they're very difficult though, so I'm gonna take a look at it and see if it's worth doing. Goblin House, it doesn't look too difficult, so we'll give it a try. It's worth it if I can get that onigiri. It's a rare drop. I did play a prank on them in one of my videos. If you watch any of my SGC videos, you'll get to see this prank I played on Sean of Mega64. Just go watch the video. I'm not gonna explain it. If you've been hanging with my channel for a while, you'll know. Oh no! Oh no! I need that antidote so badly. I'm gonna die, dude. He's gonna kill me. Hang in there, Yamada-kun. He's missing every shot. Okay, we can at least use this. I got 6 turns before I can use my lightning. Okay, he flew off, so we're gonna survive. We did it. So what'd you guys think of the Death Stranding video? I know some people liked it. Was it too long? Did you like the intro at least? I spent like an ungodly amount of time working on that video. One of my longer edits for this year. I don't like to talk about the inside baseball too much, but I put a lot of freaking time into that one. A lot. Alright, we're just gonna run it. No, we're gonna save the thunder for later. Bam, bam. Okay, final floor. We can see if we can beat this bonus dungeon. I'm just gonna spam magic at the beginning. Bishop says those long videos are always nice. See, I don't know. Like I get like mixed opinions sometimes. Like some people just don't have time to like watch a 30-minute video, but like Death Stranding is one of those games like you can't sum up that game. As I said, like I've put about 80 hours into it now. A little more. I think I'm like way ahead of that now. Anyway, like there's just so many pieces to that game that like if you just summed it up in like 5 minutes, you'd be missing out on a lot of the elements, a lot of the context, a lot of the plot. I think I'm gonna die. This is gonna be the one. Can I get a crit? Can you give me a crit? 1 crit. I think the way I'm guarding, I'm gonna kill him. Oh shit! No! He blinded me. Let's use my magic barrier. Let's see if that works. I think it's a little too late for that. What do you think? I think the antidote's only good for poison. Oh, he got me. All right, I'm going to use an onigiri. By the way, I love onigiri. When I was in Tokyo, it was like my #1 snack. I always had like 2 onigiri in my backpack at all time. Oh no! He got back up! I did it! Onigiri comes in almost any flavor you can think of. There's beef, fish, chicken. Some of them, I think there was like a peanut butter one. There's a sweet one, mayonnaise one, egg salad one. Dude, I tried every onigiri from 7-Eleven and Family Mart. Anywhere I went, if there was onigiri, I picked one up. They're the perfect portable food, and I wish America would like have onigiri in 7-Elevens. There's a couple of restaurants in town that have onigiri, but it's like a premium item. It's like $8 a roll. I'm not even exaggerating. It's because they use grilled pork, though. Alright, that went all okay. Let's see if, that's about to die. That potion, maybe I can upgrade it. Nope. I really haven't unlocked anything crazy yet. Let's see if I can send him on a quest. No. Nothing good. Well, I need another potion before I do anything else. So let's see if I can unlock one. I already got everything there. I got some of this stuff. There's a few barbarian pieces there. I got the skull shield. I got the armor. I need the helmet. We'll do this. We'll just push the story forward here. Mick Hero says, I'll watch it after this. Been meaning to watch it. That's okay, Mick Hero. Watch it whenever you like. Trace effects. I put the 263 hours into Death Stranding. Oh, man. I'll probably put that much time as soon as I finish up the platinum. Like, I'm doing like, there's 3 hidden preppers. There's, like, First Prepper, Veteran Porter, and I think the Collector. Those are the 3 I'm running right now. And I built zip lines everywhere. Like, zip lines are a godsend. I take back what I said about roads. Zip lines are where it's at. Strato says, you're right that most people ragging on the game didn't even try helping others. You know, here's my conspiracy. And I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up in my review because I didn't have any way of, like, tangibly proving it. So Death Stranding is a game all about networking and playing with other people, right? And the biggest part of the game is the strand system, like where you're making connections and other player structures and shit are in your world. But if you're a reviewer and you're playing a review copy for a game that's primarily like ambient online, honestly, how many people's structures are going to be there? Not many. And the people whose are there are just going to be people that are rushing through the fucking game to finish the story or what have you. Probably not all that invested. They got a deadline, so they're not really immersing themselves into the world all that much. So yeah, a lot of the people who are out there dogging on it with their advanced review copies missed a huge fucking part of the game, like the primary core mechanic. I don't know. I feel it just got undue hate. Not necessarily another Never Dead on our hands, but, you know, as I said before, whose fucking fault was it to put Kojima up on that pedestal? Was it Kojima's fault? Did he put himself up there? Or was it you? Was it all the reviewers out there? They gave him such high, unrealistic expectations. They set the bar so high for that game that, of course, this was going to happen. And that's my take on it. But I think it was a brilliant game. It has its flaws. I pointed them out. I didn't point out all the flaws. There's still some things like the text was small. They're working on it. But for the most part, I'm glad he went fully original idea. I'd take an original concept and a tried concept any day. Doesn't always work out, but at least you tried. Death Stranding, for the most part, I love the game. And I ain't saying that because I came out on the record early on. And I was like, I'm fine with Death Stranding. And even just saying I'm fine with Death Stranding pissed some people off out there to where they were like downvoting my video already. Like 5 seconds after it's up, they're already downvoting it. Which is fine because it's probably the same 2 people that always do. And they never leave me a comment. Like, I have 0 people blocked. 0 people are blocked. 0 words are blocked or filtered on my channel. And it's always the same people. Like, oh, okay, well, what do you want from me? I honestly don't know at this point, so I'm just gonna keep making videos forever. But yeah, like, just even liking Death Stranding, like, those of you who were in Silent Rob's Facebook group, it just, like, blew my mind. All the drama that was surrounding it. Like, this Facebook group I was a part of, like, people were ending friendships, like, year-long friendships, years and years. A decade of being a fan of this guy because he liked a video game. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they were passionate about it. And it's all, I guess, centered around their hatred for Kojima, or their favorite e-celebrity told them to hate this game, so then that becomes their opinion. Like, you don't have to agree with me, that's fine. Don't agree with me. If you hate Death Stranding, I get why you hate it. There's some valid reasons for not liking that game. It's a very miserable game for a long stretch of it, and then it becomes easier once you understand how it all comes together. And it even becomes enjoyable later on, but I don't see why you would end a friendship for somebody for liking it. I don't know, man. I don't think I've ever ended a friendship because somebody's liked a game. I don't know. There's not a video game out there that I would consider like ending a friendship over. Like I got friends that play games that I don't play. Like I got friends that like Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft in general, and I would never buy an Ubisoft game, but I don't hate them for it. I wouldn't boycott them. Hell, if they made a video on the subject, I'd probably watch it. Like, if David wanted to make a video on Assassin's Creed, I'd watch it. Maybe he might convince me to play it. I think it just comes down to, this is what it boils down to, and this is my take on it. There are people out there. All right, we're going to go to Hikiko mode. We're exiting game mode into Hikiko. I'm going to boogie 2988 you, okay? I'm going to look directly into the camera. Directly into the camera. Directly into the camera, okay? Guys, I love you. I love you guys. I'm going to kill myself if you stop watching my videos, okay? But not really. I'm sorry, I rag on that dude a lot. But this is what it's come down to. And it's this crazy new push for consumer advocacy. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Not everyone out there has your best interests in mind. Some people will write a video, they'll make the thesis of their video to trash something for the very, just so it'll generate buzz, just so it'll generate a controversy. It's a tale as old as time. National Enquirer's been out there forever. You know, there's been these people that just write a rag, they'll write a video that just very basic, it has no research, it has no analysis. You never see how far these people play into the game. That's why I put in my video, show me your fucking porter card. And rarely did I see anyone show off how far or late game footage, and they could say, yes, it's for spoilers. That's valid. But, like, how much time did they really put into it before they trashed it? And, of course, it all comes down to somebody wanting to be consumer advocacy man and protect your wallet and protect $60 and yada, yada, yada. All boils down to $60. And the honest truth is, $60 is a fucking bargain for the kind of games we play. Okay? For the amount of investment it takes to develop a game for HD consoles and 4K resolution, and to hire all the actors that they hired, and to license out all this shit, and just mass manufacturing in general, $60 is kind of a bargain. And to my knowledge, Death Stranding has no DLC, It's a complete product from beginning to end. It doesn't feel incomplete like Metal Gear 5. It has a complete story arc. It has a ton of content, big open world. So it doesn't feel like it's just some developer trying to scam you out there. It's an avant-garde experimental game. So anyone who tries to present it as a scam, they're the ones scamming you, okay? And not everything has to come down to like not everything is a controversy. Let me put it that way. Not everything is like, oh, they're trying to sell you horse armor. Remember that big controversy back in the day? Not everything's a DLC scam. Now, yes, granted, that was true. And there are a lot of companies out there that sell you only a portion of the game. But I did not walk away from Death Stranding thinking that, okay? And I would say on the whole, like, consumers are more informed. They have plenty more resources. So for those scumbags to get away with it, they're no longer in the AAA market. They're now in the independent scene, where it's speculative investments. You know what I mean by that? Speculative investments mean you throw money at a promise of something based on nostalgic feelings that you had once before for a game that you recognize. So they covertly honeydick you into paying for things like Mighty Number 9 or Bloodstain or Shenmue 3. Guilty. I invested in the good life, okay? But that's where it is now. It's where people rest on their laurels, okay? So when you have companies out there that are trying to like justify the existence of a game based on other games they've made in a franchise, that's when you should be raising your question marks over your heads. However, Kojima didn't do that at all. He didn't promise Metal Gear. You weren't sure what he was promising, but it wasn't going to be the same game. And that's the point I was trying to make in my Death Stranding video. There's people that just take it too far, and whenever you cry wolf about every fucking thing, people are going to stop listening to you, or people are just going to stop playing the legitimate products on the market. So it's a lose-lose scenario. It just bugs me. That's a reviewer gripe. Okay, I try not to talk out of my ass, but that's years as a gamer, as a reviewer, as a fan of all sorts of games, okay? I think it's just unfair, and people walk away with the budget opinion or just two taglines and stuff like that. And it's politics, it's the world, that's how it works. Whatever's easily digestible and the quickest one to get the word out there and set the tone. You see it every time. You see it with every video game. There's somebody who just they come out front and then they say that this game is trash, and here's these very basic reasons why. So they trash an entire game based on like 3 small reasons that they magnify, and every game is flawed. Every game is flawed to some degree. There's really no perfect game out there, okay? And that's not the entire story is what I'm getting at. It's like don't believe the hype, or don't believe the consumer advocacy men out there, because they're not always your friend. I'm your friend. Believe me. I love you guys. I won't kill myself if you watch my videos. BetterHelp.com/Hikiko. For real though, like just give it a rest. Play for yourself. If you don't believe me, but don't take my word for it. You know, take some reading rainbow wisdom from anything. Don't take my word for it. Just play. We're in a game. Try a demo. Pirate it. See if you like it. And then delete it. Okay? You got 24 hours to delete it before the FBI come. I read it once. But experience something for yourself. Play video games. Don't just watch everyone else like on live streams play video games. That's no good. If you ain't living a life, if you're living it through somebody else's lens, then you ain't living. Unsubscribe from Hikikomori Media today. Stop listening to this hack. Oh my god. Godzilla head? Godzilla body. I need 4 clovers. 4 4-leaf. So I need 8 4-leaf clovers to get the Godzilla bod. Can we do it? Kabuki, baseball, snowman, skin tight, Yokozuna, fighting gi. A lot of choices. Oh, thank God I was out of medicine. My voice is giving out. I've kind of had a bit of a cold over the past week. Every morning I wake up and my throat feels like somebody ran sandpaper against it. But I'm fighting through the pain for you guys. I'm doing it for all of you. I'm doing it for you because I love you. Let me read a little chat and take a sip. Okay. Disco Elysium got 9s and 10s, but it's not even known besides the people who played TSA and looked forward to a new CRPG. Trace Effect says, I'll watch Hikiko. Shadowhawk says, this game is great, but I hate my parents. 0 out of 10. Yeah, people take out their petty grudges on game developers like it's a stand-in for their own fathers. Like, fucking, hey, Kojima, it's like Kojima left your family to go get some cigarettes and never came back. Give it a rest. Let's see. You ever play Corpse Party, Blake? Yes, I did. I played through the original, and I played a bit of Blood Drive. I think that's Blood Drive on the Vita, the 3D one. They're okay. Corpse Party 2, Book of Shadows, I wasn't digging. Some of those visual novels, like, I prefer Danganronpa. It's faster paced. Phenomenal soundtrack by Masafumi Takada. Shout out to Masafumi Takada. I like something that's not as fan servicey. Danganronpa has a little bit of fan service for sure. But I like Hotel Dusk, Trace Memory. I like myself some Danganronpa. Phoenix Wright, Miles Edgeworth, Apollo Justice is my favorite in the series. How about that? I really loved Apollo Justice. I thought it was going to be trash going in, but I think it has one of the better stories and good characters, and I like Papa Phoenix. I based the Hikikomori on Papa Phoenix, if you didn't know that. Now you do it. Now you do. If you don't know, now you know. I'm not going to finish that. We're going to upgrade. I want to upgrade this fire sword. We're going to make it decent. Yeah, boy. We're getting there. Look how much I can max that out. Almost. Level 8. Level up. Level up. My voice is gone. I'm just going to be silent to my girlfriend tomorrow. My girlfriend's going to want to talk about something, and I'm just going to be dead silent. I'll be pantomiming things. I'll be text messaging her tomorrow. Talking is not on the menu. That's why I don't do as many cool streams. There's some people out there that can stream every day. Like, I do follow a couple of streamers, and I don't know how they do it, man. Like, I get hungry, so that's why I get stream snacks. 2, like, I talk too much, and I overdo it. We're going to do that flame sword. It's not going to be dog shit this time, I promise. Plus 12. And it's got a skill on it, too. This is where Dandy Dungeon starts getting good. I haven't unlocked crafting yet. That's coming out soon. But some of these levels get so wild. 25th Ward is still the best novel. I got a platinum trophy. I'm one of the few people out there who actually got the platinum trophy on 25th Ward. You can check it. Miles Chan up on PSN. I don't lie. Verifiable proof. I got the trophies to prove it. When I say I'm gonna review a game and I finish it, I do it. I'll show you the trophy. I like this level a lot. And the flame sword does help out here, I think, for some of these enemies. Woo! I may have to heal up here. Oh, we made it. When you level up, your HP returns, so that's good. I don't have to heal. Let's see. You ever play Corpse Party? Yes, I answer that. Kojima is my abusive father, who I love and keep coming back to. I mean, I don't get it. I don't see why people feel the way they do about Kojima. Like, I don't feel qualified enough to call Kojima a hack, even though I did in my video. Like, I truly think he's earned his place in the game industry. He's created some of my favorite games of all time, and he's created more phenomenal games, more industry-changing games, more innovative games than any developer out there. Even more so than Miyamoto, I would say. I would say Kojima's really, he outdoes himself with each game. And I don't know, people who call him a hack are just trying to be contrarian about it. Like, most normies who like Kojima and like Metal Gear, they don't even know the guy behind it, let alone would they care. Like, they don't care about all the drama. They don't care about who's a hack or whatever. They just want a good game, a good product in the end. And I think that was provided. And he could have just as easily phoned it in. Like, he had every opportunity to play it safe by making a new studio and making another Metal Gear clone or making a first-person PT. He could have just gone on with PT and called it something else. Called it BT. He could have called it BT. But, he didn't. So, is he going to play it more safe with this next one? I hear that he's going to be making a horror game. Good. It's all right. I'm happy he's finally going to try his hand at horror. Even though there's some like really horrific parts in some of the Metal Gear games, like there's some creepy shit that happens if you think about it. Like the whole like chapter where the revolver ocelot torture scene goes down, and that the dead body that's in the cell with you. I think that's what's his name, Kenneth Baker. He's in there. The DARPA chief, he's in there, and then you have to fake your own death, and then I don't know. Like if you succumb to the torture, Meryl dies. Like there's so much on the line. He certainly knows how to make some very tense scenes. Oh no, wake up! Okay. I'm gonna cast a spell. I don't know if it'll do any good. 28's not too bad. We're gonna speed it up. We did it! Not too bad. I hope I did well enough on that level to get a gold trophy. Bronze. Okay, I'll take it. Oh, I got a new shield and a stick. 75% perfects. That's why I got it, I guess. My time was... So it was only 3 minutes for that dungeon, but even still, time is everything. Forever Neeby, pee pee poo poo haha. Yep. Have you ever seen World of Horror? No, I haven't. What is it, a movie? Or a game? Nothing in Metal Gear Solid 5 felt tense or important because, LOL, you can go back to your base, especially for boss fights. I mean, for me, the value in Metal Gear Solid 5 was kind of like just the sandboxy nature of it. There's like more gadgets and fun things you could do inside the context of the world, more so than Mother Base itself. Mother Base was underdeveloped, and like having to fly out each time and get dropped down was a little weird. But story didn't bother me all that much. Like, yeah, I went in knowing that it was unfinished, so it didn't bother me. The context of what was going on at Konami at the time certainly made a lot of sense. Did he go over budget? Probably. Did he piss off a lot of Konami higher-ups? Probably. But to me, like, I don't play Metal Gear necessarily just for the story or the plot. Like, I also like to see, like, what weird gadgets... Like, you know, I like the kind of the secret agent nature of it, I guess. I'm probably weird in that regard. Because, like, you know, I'm familiar with all the stories. I've played every single one of the games. I've 100%ed VR missions. I've beaten Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel. I've beaten the MSX Metal Gears. I've beaten Metal Gear NES. I've beaten Snake's Revenge. For me, the stories, like, are just all right. It's the boss fights. It's the weird, like, little idiosyncratic things. The little, funny elements to it. Like, Metal Gear Solid 3, I don't give a fuck about the story, but certainly all the fun things you can do and food you can eat and interactions with the guards and stuff. And, that is what I felt was missing in Death Stranding. The mules, there's not a lot of interactivity with them, and that's a shame. Excuse me. Wrong pipe! Oh, shit. Ah. Hello. Me. Ma. Alright. I think I'm about to wrap it up here. I'm gonna finish up this dungeon. We'll call this the last dungeon tonight. So get your questions in. Make your comments. If you want to shit post, feel free. If you want to say goodbye, say goodbye. I don't know what I'm going to be working on in December. I'm kind of in between a lot of games. There's some things that, like, December's my time when my friend Mark comes into town. And I get a couple of weeks vacation time coming up here soon. So I'll be playing a lot of video games, like, near the end of December. Probably next week I'll pick up a game that I intend on reviewing, but I'm kind of at, like, this point where not a whole lot of games are coming out, so I'll have to dip into something in my back catalog to play. I haven't really thought about it all that much. Like, Death Stranding took a lot out of me, so I'm just kind of like in that after review phase of, okay, I just kind of want to play some video games now, so that's where I'm at. But I'll pick something, and I'll have a video out sometime this month. Oh shit! I should have used that potion. We'll use the onigiri. My score will not be counted because I've cheated. Damn it. I didn't know using an extra life was considered cheating. Okay. Whatever. For the sake of this dungeon, for the sake of tonight's stream, I will use onigiri. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas of things you want to see, preferably a short game. This Stranding was a very long review to make. It took a long time to make. So preferably a game that I can get through realistically, write a script, record lines, and edit something. So to all you editors out there, yeah, we'll throw away that. And let's see if I can use that. Oh no! I'm getting my ass snapped in bear traps. Fuck it, we'll just use thunder. Not my finest hour. But I still got it perfect. So crab chips win. I don't know if I'll be eating any crabs anytime soon. He's referencing my Guitar Man stream. That's on my cool stream playlist. Goodbye, please come to Brazil. I'll come to other countries when Japan stops being fun. That's where all my money's going. I'm saving up to go in 2021 to Tokyo again. But not Tokyo, I'm going to Osaka. Excuse me, I'm going to Osaka in 2021. My girlfriend has family out in Osaka. And I've always wanted to go there. Like, yeah, Osaka and Tokyo are the two big cities. So I've been to Tokyo. But Osaka is going to provide some more countryside, too, that I can check out. So, going to be doing a little bit big city, a little bit of countryside, but that's going to be in 2021. I'll be going back. I love Tokyo. It was like the most memorable trip I've ever been on. It's something I dream about every day. You guys can watch my whole experience. It's up on the channel, Tokyo Trip. Or My Time in Tokyo is what it's called. I really loved it. I'd love to live there, but I would also miss America because America's all I know. I'm a baka gaijin. I'm a burger guy, okay? I'm a burger in my heart. Check my cholesterol. Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter would be cool to see. Bishop, I love Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. I'm like one of the 3 people in the world that actually doesn't think it's bad. I've beaten it before. I did that soul reset a few times, and I 100%ed Dragon Quarter with my friend Mark. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it was like a 40-hour game or something like that. Maybe. Not saying no. I'm not saying no. But I'll think about it. Eventually I'll cover it, though. I love that game. A first impressions video on Moon. Anthony Birch, when does Moon come out? Does it come out this month? I know it's out in Tokyo or Japan. Why do I keep calling Japan Tokyo? Japan. You know, Tokyo. It's the one place on that island. See you then, Stratos. Have fun with Kansai Ben. People in Osaka talk weird and fast. I'll be living in Tokyo by then. Oh, you will, Bishop? Congratulations. Best song from a game this year, my noms are Devil Trigger and BB Theme by DS. Best song. I never really think about that too much. Unless it's a game like NieR, I don't really think about the music too much. Or like Akira Yamaoka. Akira Yamaoka, Masafumi Takada, the composer for NieR. They're really the only ones I pay attention to. If you want a good authority on music, you should talk to Thor. Thor produces actual music. I try not to speak out of my element. Alright, I think this is our final floor. I got a crit! Dude, I'm sweeping with this, but that tree keeps on healing every turn. But the flame sword is just too much for him. Oh, he critted me! Okay, we're good. That's how it's done. What can I say? I'm pretty good at Dandy because I played it like on a million lunch breaks at work. This and Million Onion Hotel. By the way, before I sign off, I do want to brag on somebody. Silver. That's good. Getting them kisses. I'll go on just one tiny little tangent before I say goodbye to you. And I'll plug all my shit, okay? Cause that's part of it, right? You gotta shill to pay the bills. Okay. Hey everyone, I do want to brag that David on the channel, David King, he has a new food series that's really funny. It's called Artificial Ingredients. So if you type in David King, that's his name. I didn't dox him. Okay, I didn't dox David. He doxed himself. He named his channel David King. So you can find him on YouTube, or you can type in King Game Review. That was the first channel I started out on, so there's some like old ass videos of me on there too. He's got a new YouTube show called Artificial Ingredients, where he asked a question to an AI that would randomly generate him ingredients on how to bake things. So basically, a robot was telling him how to bake food. And then so he turned it into a cooking show called Artificial Ingredients. It's on his channel. It's really funny. And the music is also randomly generated. So it's creepy as fuck. I love it. Go check him out. Also, he's really good at Million Onion Hotel. Way better than I am. I wish I would have showed it to him earlier because I would have used his footage. He is so good at that game. Okay. Watam comes out Tuesday, Trace Effects. I'm fucking getting Watam. Watam will be the video, maybe. But I'm getting Watam. I've been looking for that. That's the creator of Katamari Damacy's new game. I really want to play that, for sure. And thank you for your super chat. I'll be Stratos. Thank you for the super chat. That I'll buy a Watam with that or something. I'll put it towards Watam. Let's see. Coffee and Donuts theme. Oh yeah, Travis Strikes Again. They had some jammers in there. I would say out of that, I like the campfire theme. Like Travis's trailer. I like that a lot. It's very bluesy. Okay. I think that's about it. Let's chill. Couple of things. One, if you like cool streams, tonight I usually don't stream at night, so this is like a rarity. I usually do it in the mornings on Saturdays when I can. I'll put out the word on Twitter, on my Discord, and the YouTube community posts if you read those. I'm really not sure. I think I had like 16 people vote, so that's cool. Another thing. I usually leave my cool streams up listed for about a week, and then I unlist them so like you can see my core content. But if you want to watch old cool streams, there's a playlist. It's called Cool Streams. It's on my channel. Go to playlist Cool Streams. You can see every stream I've done since like 5 years ago. I'm trying to be better about it. And one last thing. If you haven't already, go watch my Death Stranding video. I wanted to get to 1,000 views. They're trying to keep me down. They're keeping me down. All the big video game media is keeping me down. They don't want you to hear the truth, okay? Put on your tinfoil hats. We're going deep on this one. We're going in raw. My Death Stranding video is one of the best videos I've made this year. I can say that because I put a fuck ton of time into it, okay? I made it the best I could. But at a certain point, you gotta put it out there. So I put it out there. It's 31 minutes long. It's a good, funny video. And yes, I had a good time with it. People seem to like it. And the people who didn't like it, they didn't comment. So who gives a shit? No constructive criticism, really? Just jump in there. Tell me what you didn't like, and I'll fix it. Thank you. Anyway, that's my shill. Hikikomori Media. I'm your host, Hikiko. Signing off. Let me do my shout-outs. I'm going to have no voice. Denzel, Stratos, Trace Effects, Ben Hillman, Giuseppe. I'm only doing first names. Decomius, Strun, Shadowhog, Mick Hero, Jethro, Kirk Almighty, YHZH. There's another guy in here. Who else was it? Blake. And I think that's it. Oakland. Oakland's in here. Oakland. Shout out to Oakland. Anyone else? Going